Okay, I welcome you all from your little break. I hope the break was cool. And I believe so well that from the knowledge so far from HTML, I believe we have understood a lot. Have we? Any place you have any challenge on HTML? No. So as we push forward, we will see how we exploit some other parameters with HTML and CSS. So today we'll be looking at CSS, Introduction to CSS. Introduction to CSS. Actually, before now, we have been doing part of the CSS, which was inline CSS. So I'm using it to attach to get some little design with our HTML, so that we can get at least a very beautiful, responsive web page. Okay, what is the full meaning of CSS? As we have there, we have cascading styling sheet. Okay. It's called what? Cascading styling sheet. That is what CSS is. Alright? Now it contains the rules for presentation of what? HTML. That means that HTML plus CSS gives us what? A web page. I get my point. Okay? I get my point. And CSS is a language that controls the appearance and layout of a web page. Is what? A language that controls what? The appearance and layout of what? Of the web page. Okay? And that is why you see here we have HTML plus what? CSS gives us a web page. Now, the essence of it is for developers to add colors, to add font, space, animations, and responsive designs to make a website. I get my point. That's the essence of what? CSS. You add colors, you add fonts, you add imageries, you add space, animations, and responsive designs just to make what? A website. The visuality of a website will make it more responsive and more, the appearance of that website will give you the sweetness. It is lovely, sweet, nice, even without you adding JavaScript. That's what CSS stands for. That is what it's all about. Just for styling, to make your website look beautiful. A little thing on HTML, but more things on CSS. You can spend just 1 minute in HTML, or you can spend like 10 minutes in CSS. Why? Because you need the page to be beautiful. You get what it is? So you begin to pick things that you just make that page look more beautiful. Huh? Maybe so. You discover that when you are on your wedding day, you discover that care is not taken, you will not even know the bride. Maybe so. Why? Because of the makeup. Just they want to make the lady look very, 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 very extra beautiful. So the makeup care is not taken. As the pastor is saying, unveil the bride. Is she the one? If care is not taken, you as a man, if you don't look wet, so I'm not my wife. Why? Because of the makeups. So that is how CSS is all about. Just for styling. Okay. Now, if you look at it, we say, why CSS? Why do we go for CSS? Because CSS saves time. If you say you want to use everything on HTML, then you should go in extra mile to make sure you get that same design, but it will not give you that same design. But when you involve CSS, it saves your time. If you want to use that same design in something else, just implement, copy, and just go and paste. That's what it saves time. Copy, go and paste there, and get it just the way you want it. Okay? You can write CSS once and reuse the same shit in multiple HTML pages. Plenty of it with CSS. It's easy to maintain. To make a global change, simply change the style, and that's all. Or to make a global change, or maybe to pick some selectors or some selectors or some ID tags class. All I need to do is just make little changes, and then I'll get what of the design. That's what CSS stands for. You can run CSS2 on offline browser. You can run it. Hence, you are running HTML. Even with CSS, you can also run what? An offline browser. It's when we get to are we following? It's when we get to PHP, then we'll be considering of running PHP on the local server. And then by that time we'll now involve what we call XAMPP. Because PHP is what? It's scripting language and must be run on the local server. Now, look at this. Syntax of CSS. A CSS comprises rules that are interpreted by the browsers and then applied to the corresponding element in the document. Now, for you to apply to your corresponding element, you need to understand what is called selector and a decoration block. You need to understand what is called a selector and a decoration block. That is to say, you need to understand selector properties and value. You understand what? The selector, the property, and what? The value. In programming, we have what we call variable, and then what? The value. So that is how it is. In CSS, we have property, and then we have value too. So what is the property? The property could be that color. The property is color. Then what is the value of the property? It's what? Red, blue, green, purple, any color that you can mention. I get my point now. That is what we call property. Okay? But when we do PHP, we will not see it as a property again. Because that belongs to what? That belongs to CSS language. CSS language we use what? Property, respect of what? Variable. But in PHP, we call it what? Variable. Variable. Value. Variable. They only show me. You understand me? So, what is the selector that we are talking about? In HTML, we see head 1. I think, let me do something. Let me use this for instance, right? In HTML, we see head 1 tag. Is that? We refer to this as tag, right? This is a tag, head 1. But in CSS, we see it as what? A selector. We see it what? As a selector. So if the head 1 will apply color on it now, I need to use it what? As what? A selector. So let's say for instance, let me hit on internal CSS. Internal CSS, let me do what I'm talking about. Let's say I have this. And they say, give this a background color, and then I'll give it a color of the text. What do I need to do? I need to identify the selector. What is selector? The selector is that is head 1. That is the selector. Then it must follow with what? A curly brace. A curly what? Brace. Remember, when we were doing inline CSS, we are not adding anything like curly brace. Really? No, there's not a curly brace. We'll just open star inside the tab, and then we'll just write whatever you want to write. But now we are going on CSS now. So if I'm doing maybe if I'm doing internal CSS, I need to involve that curly brace. If I'm doing external CSS, I need to involve that curly brace. Because I'll pick a selector and work on it. I get my point. So we can decide to give you a rough sketch of HTML and then pick the selectors and then work on it. Just I'll pick on this one, head 1 now. I'm going to work on head 1. And if there is any other thing called head 1 in this script here, it will also follow. Why? Because that head 1 that was at the top there and the second head that was below here, they are one selector. They are one selector. Let me do this first. So here I will involve a curly brace. If I involve curly brace here now, I will now say, let's put background color. Then I'll put sorry, blue, semicolon. I have a point. Then I will close the curly brace. Oh, sorry. Then I will close the curly brace. Now I am only very this. It's going to affect this particular line and give me the background to that. I get my point. Now the rule states that when you pick a selector, this is a decoration block. I get the difference now. This is the decoration block. Sorry, this is the selector, and this is the decoration block. And in the decoration block, we have property, and then we have what? Value. So you must acknowledge that this is now the property, and this is down the value. And the property is separated with what? A full colon before the value. And at the end of the value, there must be what? A semicolon. Are you following? There must be what? A semicolon. So after this now, I'll now go and refresh this. I'll now go and refresh this. You see the background? You see the background on it now? Good. Now let's say I want the color, the text now to change to. I will now come to, I will hit my space button and then give it what? Color. And then maybe I will indicate white, semicolon. And then go back and refresh again. The white background becomes, the text becomes white. Did you see the difference? Because what? We identify the selector here. And this is one is working. So if I go to say, okay, let me change the selector now to 2. I am referring to head 2 now. You get the point? I'm referring to head 2. Let me change the selector. Okay, I think here I have head 4. I have head 4 here. I have head 4 here. And I also have head 4 here. So all the places that I have head 4, this will apply to it. You see that? Here is head 4. Here is head 4. You get the points now. Here is head 4. So anywhere that you have that same selector name, if you design anything, it will be affected. Except you want to have a separate design for that particular thing. Then at that point, you need now to involve either class or ID. Font color. I don't have font color here. Do I have font color here? And because I identify here on the listing is red here. I identify here, I open a column. So if I put down, I go to red, white. Do you get? Now, what am I trying to say? Anywhere there is head, that head bear the same name, bear the same selector, all of them will carry the selector. Let's say for instance, I don't want to be first, let me take it gradual. You understand? So let's fall back. So I was just trying to explain what this is all about. Your selector could be P tag. It could be I. You could pick any of the tags in HTML and represent to be your selector. Work on it. It will apply on it. Are you getting my point? Joshua, are you following me? The selector points to the element, to the HTML element you want to style. What is the selector? This was the HTML elements here. We have here. We use head 4 now. We have changed to head 4. It points to the element you want to do to style. The decoration block contains one or more decorations separated by what? A semicolon. Each decoration includes a CSS property name and a value. Each decoration what? Includes a CSS what? Property and what? A value. separated by what? Column. For example, color is a property and blue is a value. We have it done here. Color is a property and white is what? A value. Are you getting the point? Decoration blocks are surrounded by what? Curly brace. So if you did not open a curly brace, let's say for instance now, say here now, I do not open curly brace there. No curly brace there. I just do my own thing and I come here. It will not work. Oh. You see it working? It will not work. Oh. So at this point now you say, what is working? What is making my CSS not working? Oh, I did not open my curly brace. On the decoration block, you have to open your curly brace and then you close your curly brace. It's important. These are the syntax that you must apply. Now, in CSS, before we start CSS, you must have designed your HTML. You get? And you design your HTML with the sense that you are going to be using some of these things for on CSS. Are you getting me? So that is how it is. So if you are designing CSS, you want to build a CSS, design with CSS, you have to design your HTML web page and include the part of the CSS you are going to be using. So that's why I say if you have two double tags appearing the same time, that means, and you want to style one particular area, you must differentiate that part with one thing so that CSS can work on that area. Did you understand me? Did I actually answer you? You must differentiate it. If you don't differentiate it, all will be appearing the same time. Okay, let's say for instance now, if I want to style this one, like I have F4 here now, I still have F4 down here. I want to style this one now. There, I must involve a difference. I must come here, click here, and then indicate what we call class, or I will indicate what we call ID. So I will not be using what is inside this ID as what? My selector. I will not be using that thing that is inside that class as a selector. I get my point now. Differently. But we are coming down there because if I'm to use that part, you are going to use a particular symbol to differentiate. This one is this one is that. Okay? I get my point. So types of CSS. Types of CSS. We have inline CSS. This is done by using what? Style attributes inside the HTML elements, which we have done in our previous classes. Inside the HTML CSS element. Should I do it again? No. We have done it before. So then the internal CSS. This is done by opening a style tag at the top or below the style, below the title tag on the structure of the HTML. Now if you go up here, you see below the title, closing tag of the title, I open a style tag here and a closing style tag. Are you seeing it? Now I now wrote the CSS word code inside that tag. This one will refer to it as what? Internal CSS. It is done inside the CSS script. Are we together? Then we have the external CSS. The external CSS is done by using link, a tag called link. to link the two scripts. At this point, the two scripts are separate. You have CSS scripts and you have your HTML script. The two scripts are separate. Watch me as I do this. Let's say, for example, this is my HTML script. Is this man following me? Are you following me? Let's say this is my HTML script called Sun. This is the name of my script called Sun. And I want to apply CSS to it, and it's done by external. Then I will come here, open another new fresh page. Then I will save that into the what? I will save that new script to the what? Style.css. Style what? CSS. Then I will save it inside. Now if I open let me check the folder. If I open it, you will see it will appear as style here. Look at it. Style of what? CSS. You must put .css. Remember that. Yeah? It's not something I will teach you again. Yes. Okay. This style.css. Now it is always style. It is always what? Style. I get it now. Styles or style. Many programmer or 95% of programmer uses what? Styles. Why? We will always create a folder called CSS, and then we'll name the script of the CSS as style. It is very easy, such that if a programmer collects your script now, he will be able to see that this is where you style all your CSS. Everything of your website is in that style. Everything is in that style. You get a joke? Everything is in that style. So we always like to create a folder different, like a CSS folder, and then we'll put the style inside. But this one is just for the sake of study. So by the time we proceed, I will be doing that for you, so you'll be seeing. So your code will not be. You have to maintain that order, and that is how you grow when you start developing. Alright? So as I put it here now, this guy is inside a folder called Fulafia. And this one is inside a folder called what? Fulafia. All of them are in the same folder. Alright? So now, how do I link this? I will come here. This script don't close. Let me open it again. So you'll be watching and you see what I'm doing. I see. Are you watching me? Now, let me start head 1. Okay? I'll start head 1, then maybe with the background color, and then see how we can implement maybe background image, something like that. Let's have something like this. I will have asterisk. Okay. Well, let me teach you now. When I get there, I will skip it. Asterisk. When we have something like asterisk, we say margin. Margin, we set it to 0. And padding, we set it to 0. This is the CSS. I make sure everything is aligned. Good. Make sure everything is aligned. Then you can have something like border box. Now, why did I put this? The reason for this is because we call this X asterisk tag, we call it selector here, as a universal tag. It controls the body of the web page. If I put that asterisk now, the margin, both top, both left, both right, bottom, all of them will close. You see here. You see here. You see all these margins. You see all the margin at the top here. Once I do that, they will close. This space, little space, they will close. Except when I decide to use a particular margin to set up a space, or part to set up a space. Now, except that. The space in between all of them will close. Not like close totally. Just watch what will happen. We call it a universal tag. That is what it does. But after I finish doing this, the next thing now, how does this thing now is going to work? How is it going to work with the HTML script? Question, right? How is it going to work with HTML script? I want to design my CSS script. I want my HTML script, which is this one. If I come there, below here, the title, I want to put a link. Then new is equals to style sheet. I will indicate what I want to do there. Then we call href. Href is equals to style.css. Style.css. Then I close this. Now, the duty of the href is to link two scripts together. The duty of href, these are some of the things we're doing. If I put href, did I put half static inside? These people have static like hash inside. This is something like that. There's hash inside. Now that hash means it's stagnant. You are not moving to the next page. Now, the href is linking two scripts together. You want that when you click on B, it will open C. And by the time you click on C, the next page will keep opening. And you keep clicking, the more the page will keep opening. It is href that does that. You have to link it there with the exact name you use in saving the script. The exact name I use in saving the script is style.css. And that's the exact name I use there. I get my point. It's called for the HTML. And it is used to link what? Two scripts together. So when you see we have something like a menu bar, about, services, contact, and then footer. If I click about, the about open. Now that about script is inside the href. The name called about.html or .c or .php is inside what? About is named about. So if I have about here now, I will have to name about. I put about inside this. And by the time I click on about will open. Then I will read about the content. It's href that does that. What's up? Master. Now, this is the name of the CSS. If I put size here, it will not work because I did not save any CSS as tags. What I saved was tag. So you maintain the name you use in saving your script. If you don't maintain the name you use in saving your script, if you click, it will not work. But because this one is linking two scripts together, so you have to involve that link, that tag called link. That's my point. So I'll go back to my script. HTML, I'll remove the X because nothing matter. Then I'll save. Then because I link these two scripts and this one together, these two things are showing together now, each other. So I will now go back to my video and now refresh. Did you see the line close? Did you see how the line close? Joshua, this is how the line close? Oh, that is the universal tag I'm talking about. It closes every space. I've stamped. Yes. Selector. For the whole body. So once you want to begin anything, you have to do this. You have to set your page, close all the space. So let's say now, after we finish that, let's work on this. We'll pick it one. Pick one. I'll bring it to my CSS now. I have finished with this. I don't have any business with that again. So the next one I have. Yes, this is style. This is for style. We also call this type of CSS external. For the CSS. But I'll just have to pick what that particular pattern type on the HTML and then come to CSS and then continue. I don't have to code it. I have to maintain this particular pattern. So, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So when you are designing CSS, create another
you create another sheet called style, which is CSS.
start with CSS.
Yes.
That means for that, you put on that part or whatever is in that sheet. It's only going to be style.
Everything concerning style, you go to there. Everything about style is on that particular sheet.
So this I did here now like this. This kind I don't think this
Yes.
on that style sheet.
Yes. And what is controlling it is this link that I it. Yes. Yes, that's just the link you want. You just add it. And all your interactions that are working on that sheet will go to the affecting this one. I want to call it external. So programmers prefer external. Like me too, I prefer external. Yes. Like me too, I prefer external. So if you don't like external, you go for internal CSS. And if you don't like internal CSS and external CSS, you go for inline CSS. That's how we have the three of them. What I'm doing is external. I see the script is different. You create a style script D of style next style dot CSS. But if your text tool is programmed, you can also go with that. There are some editing text tool that will just give you the language you select. If it's type CSS, you will just click on CSS. Like Dreamweaver. Href. Yes. Is a tab. It's called href. If you want to link two scripts together, use href. Now I will do that. Don't worry. I'll do that. We'll see before we do the class. Okay, I'm trying to control the size for the left and right so that it match. Okay, so I just did now. I'm going to be explaining all of this one by one as we go further. It's not if I started the course. So the HTML that people were doing, that one foundation. It's not that people want to enter the main cocoa. Okay, I'm trying to show you that Dreamweaver or that text tool. You see this one? It just display what kind of language you want to use. Is it HTML? Is it Code Fusion? Is it PHP? Is it ASP? Is it XS? Yes. This is what me I'm programming. This is what I like using. Dreamweaver. Yes. This is what I like using. CSS, JavaScript. So anyone you wish, you just pick on it. Just click on it. Then it will open in that level. If I want CSS, I just click on it. It will open in that manner. So even if I did not save it .css, I just save it style. Already, I've already selected the language. Good. But Notepad doesn't have that features. So I need to indicate that .css. You get? That is why. Okay? Now, on coming to this part now, external CSS that we are still working on. I want to use this head 1 and effects here. I have done with first part. The second part will be
that open folder and then close folder. You said it to arrange.
Which open column? This one?
No, the open that has that as
this one? This one? This one, it what controls this decoration block. The curly brace controls what? The decoration block. If it is not there, it will not work. The effect of the CSS will not display. Up and down. As you open, you close. So now I'm picking what another selector, which is H1. So I'm going to use, huh? Which one? Internal CSS. Yes, it doesn't affect the first one. But doesn't affect it. You can do two types of CSS at the same time. If you start going through external give too much long way to go, you can just open your internal. You can come to HTML and write internal CSS and do what you want to do and sharpen and then leave. Okay, it's not like you must, but if you wish that not do everything as external or internal CSS, you can do that yourself. So let's proceed. This should be font size. The font size should be, I'm coming. Font size should be 16 pixel, and then background color should have triple, and then what else? Padding should be about 12 pixel, and then I close the color grids. Then if I have this, I will now come here and refresh. Do you see that? Okay, let's say add color to the text. Let's add color. Here, I'll come down here. I'll come down here. I'll say color. I'll say color. Then I'll put white, semicolon. Then it becomes white. Then I want to put it to the middle. Let it go to the middle. At that point, I'll say text align equals to center. Then that goes to the middle. Good? Okay. Because I reduce the size. I reduce the size to 16 pixel. How did add this space? Are you still about the space in between? And that was the general distribution of this particular heading. I'm doing that. I need a little space. So I need to determine padding to be 8. In the general body, I have closed all the spaces. What was the former question? For box sizing. The box sizing is just I am setting the heading to maintain a particular line. That's why I have border box. As I'm doing, it's going to be coming as like a box. A border box sizing is going to come like a box. So you can see that it did not come across. It did not come across more than the heading. More than the heading. You can see everything maintained inside a box. That's how they are determined the border box. Nothing white outside. The head one is controlling the body. It's controlling the body, is controlling the head. Everything is going to be seen. There are some times you will run code and they will go in hidden inside. Yes, very wide. That will be hidden inside. But the border box is going to control everything to be on the same margin line. My God. Now, I told you that X, that X is a universal tag, universal selector. Let me know which tag. Universal selector. Now, the border box that I put there is that it's going to be controlling everything that has to do with what I need to impute in this text or in this web page. If I have to bring in form, it has to control in that manner. There are some codes that if you don't determine some of these things, you discover your code will be going back. So therefore, you discover you'll be having some ruler, some horizontal here that you drag to the other side of the other side. You know, so the border is like setting to maintain that as
so the
I should go back to the book. Curly brace.
What do you mean?
So The curly brace. Yes, I have the curly brace. I don't have curly brace anymore. The other one is just square brackets.
And that's what
You cannot use square brackets. Huh? It's wrong.
okay, that's the rule.
That is the rule for the CSS. You use what? Curly brace, not a square bracket, not even bracket. The only time we use, even if you are using bracket, bracket has to come in. Let's say, for instance, after this now, I want to control the body now. This is the body. I want to control the body now. This is the body. Okay. I don't need this. Let me do it. Delete it. I will come here to my CSS. I will say body. This body, I will now say background image. I'll open URL, open brackets. Let me look for image inside these two. Image. Which image? Did we put any image here? Okay, let me use this one. Although it's too small anyway. Maybe it's going to come another way. Huh? You want to quit? I want a good image. Now let's see now. Let's do what, let me pick one image. Just have one background images. Background piece. Okay, let me pick this one. Let me pick this black one. Or author. But that author will show that author on this thing. I don't want it. Abimoto. Let me pick this car. Right? So it's just very simple. Okay, the name of this image now is 24195. Let me check whether it's JPG 24195. So I'll come here 24195.
White on white and other similar matching color that will make it more beautiful. Did you understand that?
Okay. So let's go back. Do you understand the difference between external, internal, and inline now? Good. So we have here selectors. CSS selectors are used to find or select HTML element based on their element name, ID, class, attributes, and more. Do you see that? Based on their element what? Name, ID, class, attributes, or what? More. And therefore we have what? The universal selector, which is what? The asterisk. And they say that it's rather than selecting element of a specific type, the universal selector quite simply match the name of any element type and produce what? Anything that has to do with what? The margin, padding. You can close everything. That's why we set everything to 0. If I want to open everything, I can maybe I can put like 10 pixels margin, 10 pixels padding, 10 pixels. You will see all the space will be opened. But whenever you want to design a very good web page, you have to close this margin. So you by yourself will be adding them gradually, and you get the taste of what you want. You get my point? Then the element selector. The element selector selects element based on the element name. You can select all P elements on a page like this, which is this. I've done this, which is a H1 that I use. We call that what? Element selector. Are you getting me? We call it element selector. So you can see an example here. We have text align center. Color is what? Red. Then we have what we call descendant selector. Suppose you want to apply a style rule to a particular element only when it lies inside a particular element. As given in the following example, the style rule will apply to the M, which is what? Descendant what? Selector.
For example, we have ordered list. What are the descendants? LI. You hear my point now? So if I want to work on descendant elements, I need to pick ordered list. Ordered list has to come first because it's what is housing the LI. So after the ordered list, and then the LI will come. So you can add like 2 to 3 selectors at the same time before the calling breaks. All of them will work. Are you following me? It will affect all the selectors that are there. If I have UL that on ordered list, I have LR, and I want to work on the 2 of them. Maybe I want to set LI style type. I want to set the type maybe from 1 to 3 to what? To ABCD. I will first of all declare UL LR, meaning that I am working on ordered list LR. So I will now open my curly brace and declare what? The type. The type. Should it be A or should I declare it none? There should not be none at all. Because you can declare it none. Numbers will not appear, nothing else will appear. And that is how we now make it to the what? Drop down menu, or make it to the menu. So when we are going to be doing how to design a menu or a website layout, we are going to be using on ordered lists. In this case, this is the method I'm going to apply. I will declare the list none. Nothing should show like 1, 2, 3, or nothing should show like dots, disc, or square. I don't need it. I will remove it. Ask you. Okay. Okay. Mm.
If you have up and down,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have type of up and down, it doesn't affect your maybe not take one type of up. You have to go through this one is selected here, and the next one is LI.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't write it for LI, it's fine, because that's what we want to be.
If I want to change this only, I will heading here.
It's type of apple.
Types of apple here. Here is not types now. Here I'm already H5. Okay, here H5.
Yeah, if you want to change the font size of now,
Mm.
you have to go to it for LI and H5.
No. I'll not go to that level.
I'll pick on the H5 and then apply, because H5 is not a family of this one. They are not family. You get? They are not family. So I can pick this one and then it will work. Or I can declare such a way that I can do it in this manner too, it will work. Let's say I have OL H5. See, it's separated, sorry. And I said font size. I said make it 10 pixel. Oh my God.
So if you are doing an assignment, you keep what you are doing in this
Did you see it? Come. Is that ordered list or unordered list? Let me check. Ordered list. Okay. I show the font. Let me add like 20. It's not adding up. The text, this one. Let me go back and look at it together. Price of apple here. Okay, I'm looking at that unordered list. Okay, it's black really. So let me just see that has appeared. So let's say I add what? OL. Will it work? Do you say all of them work with white? Because OL, they are all in the same family. I get my point now. They are all in the same family. So because I added it, that white needs to show. You get the point? My hand. So let's say if I don't want that white to show now, then I'll just to maintain only what? H5. Yeah? The H5 is controlling only the types of apple. And if I want these types of apple here, if I want it to show at the same time with other ones that are here, look at the other ones, Abby, then I will have to go and add what we call OL. This type of CSS, we call it a group CSS. We call it group CSS. All of them are showing white now. Because OL is what is housing all of them. Do you get the point? Go.
So if you want to change that watermelon now, who else they put LI what?
If
So all of them is LI.
all of them is LI here. I want to change only watermelon to what?
Change font color.
The font color of watermelon. Why will the font color of watermelon be different from others?
No, I'm asking if you want to change.
If I want to do that, then that means I have to come here and identify a particular ID. Maybe I just come here and I say ID is equals to W. Then I'll just come here, come to this part. Let me remove this one, right? I will now say ol hash w. I'll come in there, I'll tell you. Let me go back. Okay, I did not complete it. I'll put ol li hash w. You think CSS is your mate? Now, she's asking me why did I put hash here? It's supposed to work. Comma is not supposed to be here. The comma is not supposed to be there.
If you remove the OL,
Hmm?
if you remove OL,
No, everything is inside OL now, so I cannot remove it. What font did I declare there? Are you sure the watermelon is bigger than this? Let me do 40. Yes, it's working. It's working.
The color there is white. Everything is white. But the font size is different. So I'm going to change the color.
You want the color of the watermelon?
The color of watermelon should change.
To another color, different color.
So I'm not changing the color.
I did not change the color.
Remove the comma.
I'll put here comma.
Let's change the color. Maybe that.
All of them are changing to red.
Yes.
But this is supposed, don't worry, I will see ID LI.
OL, let's see.
Wait, I'm doing the wrong thing now. I'm working on ordered list here. No wonder.
Like I remove the OL, let's see.
No one, wait. This is supposed to work.
Really change the color.
Still this will not work. No. So I was giving me color riots. Hence, this thing is inside the same family. Except I'm going to separate it to make it on its own. Yeah. Meanwhile, let's proceed. That will get that done later, alright? Now, we have what we call an ID. And what we call what? An ID. That is what I was using there. Now, an ID is another selector used to identify HTML elements. Okay? And when using an ID, it has a unique character that you can use. What is this unique character? This unique character is what we call hash. Are you getting my point? Let's say, for instance, I go to my HTML. I go to my HTML work. And here, I have H4 here. And I decide to use what we call ID equals to CMD. Let me remove this. I have HTML ID. What is the ID here? CMD. So I want it to work. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick the content of the ID, which is CMD, and take it to my CSS. If I take it to my CSS, I will now add, first thing I will add is what? Hash, and then CMD, and then the curly brace, and then maybe I'll add this font size, then color, I'll make it white, then that's it. So that's alone should work. You see it here? Okay, let me put it a different color. Let me give it a pink. Is it working? That is the essence of what? The ID. So the rule is that whenever we are doing CSS, if we are designing it, it's either we make use of ID. We hardly sometimes pick selectors. Why? Because if I'm designing, by the time I'll be designing something like maybe sign up and login system, I will be doing that. You discover that I'm going to be dividing each sessions. I'll divide each sessions and then give it a particular name. Either I will use ID or I will use a class. You get my point? I'll use ID or I will use a class. But let's say, for instance, now, if I have something like this in HTML, if I have something like this is my HTML. If I have something like this, I have a div tag, then I have a class or ID, then I put comma, then I close, then I have head 3, then I say ICTM, then I close this head 3. Then what next? I close what? The div. You see this now? If this is going to work, what am I going to do for this to work? Already this com is inside here. It's housing all of this in this div, inside this div tab. I have divided this section from this section now. Are you getting my point? All inside what? An ID. Are you getting me? So if I want to control the loop, I want to control the part of that ICTM head 3, I will need to use com. Maybe for instance, I want to add maybe like background,
I want to add maybe like a border, I want to do all those things, I will have to use what? The com. Then if I want to add a color to the ICTM, I will now use com space and head 3. I don't know if you understand me. Com space head 3 and then add what? The color to it. Let me personalize so that you see that.
I'll come here, I have hash com, and I'll put, then I'll say background color hash 555, then border now pixel solid white, then padding 5 pixel, then I close that. Now if I do this, let me run it and let's see what it is. Okay, this I will not save it. You see it? You see the like a loop now, the parts in which I'm going to control. Are you seeing it? You see the margin, the border white inside this thing, but the text itself have not displayed anything. So at this point now, I will now come down again and hit hash com space head 3. Then I will now give you the color. Let's say I will say text align, then I will set it to center, then I will say color, then I will make the color to be white, and that's it, and that's it. So I will now go back and then refresh it. You see that? That whole div now have controlled that line, so you can use the loop that like that com. You can set up the background of what you want or the particular thing you want to do in that area before you concentrate on the text inside that div. I'll have to stop here because some people head don't know. So go and read it. And let me stop here. Because some people head don't know. Yes. Yes. Yes, you can align the image to be at a particular part of a page. Yes, you can set it to a particular margin where the image alone will cover. If you want, there are some websites that you discover image is covering some parts. Let's say for instance this one. You see where the image is covering. See where the image stop, the animation stop. So any other thing I want to do from there, we continue from there. But from the heading down to this part is animation. So the image animation is covering that particular length. I'll set it to about 500 pixel so it will cover. Okay, so CSS is what is doing this thing. So we are coming to this. So I want to go and check. You get it? I think we should stop it today. Let's stop it later. Next time I'll do what we call class. But I wanted to do class. Yes. The difference between ID and the class. The difference between the ID and the class is that it's dot. Dot. Let me particularize for you so you see. Now you see this place. I can decide not to use ID. I can decide to use class. Class. Now this class, that if then I will use hash. What I will use there is dot. I want to do what? Then this will still remain the way it is. Are you getting my point? But if it is ID, you will use a character called what? Hash. Whenever it's class is a class, you use a character called what? Period. I get my point. So subsequently, me I like using class. So when I say class now, you start go and pick the sequence. So it's a way that does signify that that particular style of CSS is a class. Just like attach a variable, right? Just like a variable. You can do it, you can use anything. You can use go. You can use a class. You can name it go. You can name it come. You can name it ada. You can name it anything you want to give it a name. Hence, you know how to use that ada to style the page. Okay. Are we good? All right. So I will stop here. Let your head not come out now, because I discovered that you guys are already tired. Okay. So in our next class, we will now do other things and then do some pretty Pascal. Okay. So you ask me what is the question you asked me? These are what? And rem. Now pixel is like a fixed unit of a measurement. Okay. Why the EM is like a relative unit based on the font size. If I'm talking about on the font size, this one is not part of my class. Let me stop it. I don't know if you're following me on YouTube. I don't know if you are following me on YouTube. Joshua, you say you don't know that I'm on YouTube. The link I sent to you, ma. Now, I'm talking about the pixel. It's like a fixed unit in a particular measurement. Okay, like it has what we call the parent-based unit. That is, and the unit doesn't move faster like EM. It moves little bit. So if you are using it like if you are using EM, you understand that if you are determining 10 pixels in EM, you are going to determine maybe like 7